Who wants crabs? Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to review John Dies at the End, number 5. There are no giant crabs in this novel, a novel of giant crabs. If you've read any of the John Dies at the End series, then you didn't need me to tell you about this book. You're going to read it no matter what I say because you already love Dave, John, and Amy. You're a ride or die with them. But I'm still going to do the review because I was lucky enough to win a Goodreads giveaway for an ARC, a physical ARC, because I just don't read on screens. I'm sorry, I don't. And so those are real. You can actually win one. And you could win one that you want. Like this was a must buy for me. I got a signed copy coming from Parnassus Books in November, but oh man, was I just blown away when I won this. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, good for you. What's the book about, Goober? Well, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, of course. I don't operate that way. I'm going to tell you what I thought of this in comparison to the series, but also as a standalone. I think all the John Dies books work as standalones, but they work so much better if you're familiar with the characters and you've been on their journey. This installment has a lot more horror than humor and a lot more philosophy. In this book, John, Dave, and Amy get pulled into a multiple dimension war. There's a war going on over turf for an accelerated universe, a universe where time is just zipping by and is used to evolutionary and technological advancement for other universes. And Undisclosed, of course, gets drawn into this conflict, and it's up to John, Dave, and Amy to solve it. And the cast in this is significantly expanded from just John, Dave, and Amy. There's Joy, of course. Joy, who is in... I actually don't even remember when Joy joined the team, when she first appeared. I think it was in What the Hell Did I Just Read? But maybe it was only in If This Book Exists, You're in the Wrong Universe. I don't remember. She was sort of sprung on me. Or that's the Mandela effect, meaning I'm now in a new timeline. But she's there, a creature called Snowball is there, and a whole bunch of other players that are working toward this goal of resolving what could be the most catastrophic thing that could happen to Undisclosed. And I think because there's an extended cast of characters, we lose some of that tight focus on our super trio, which by itself is not bad. It allows for more of an expanded viewpoint of the chaos. And without giving anything away, I really went for the whole philosophical examination of what it means to be a human, of what civilization's ultimate end goal should be, and how the inhabitants of that civilization are either meeting that ideal or failing. I know that doesn't sound very fun, does it? But there's a lot of brains behind the action in this story. This novel is a page turner. You're going to fly through it. And along the way, and I think this holds true for all the John Dies at the End books, it is really about I don't want to say it's about the journey, but it is. It is about being in the moment and going along and living these experiences and hearing the thoughts and analyzing the evidence and looking at humanity in a new way. More so than how did it wrap up and where does this leave us? I will say there are a couple of passages in here that I related to far more than I should have when it comes to Dave and feeling worthy. I also found it very interesting that there was something in here that was exactly kind of what I had in Death Bus, the story I wrote. Not to plug myself, of course, but there's this one particular horrific element that's nearly identical to something that happens in Death Bus. I thought it was funny. So I'm not saying we share a brain at all, not even trying to say I could write anything that's half as good as this, but it's funny where I am on the exact same frequency. So I guess that's just why I respond so well to these books. They, like I said, scratch a very particular itch. This has more horror than humor. I think that's important to note for fans of the series. And it feels like Jason Pargin is building to a final book. There is going to be one more book. There's going to be a 6th installment. And the only thing he says about that 6th installment in the afterword is that he's already written some of it And what he's written is they meet an old man named Garth Fart Carnival. So yes, Jason, I'm one of the 5% who read the afterword and loved it. And your shockingly unpopular opinions still have me shocked. But there is going to be a sixth, and I just had this feeling that, I don't know, the tone of the book is darker, more hopeless, and it feels like Jason is getting ready to say goodbye. It's 5 stars, a solid 5 stars. How would I rate it in the series? I think my favorite still is This Book is Full of Spiders, and this one might be a close second. Of course, the first one's exceptional. That's an amazing book, but this is up there, and I think he's building to something. So you can get it right now on Amazon. You can pre-order it. It comes out in November, but you can also get signed copies at Parnassus. So be like Beef Daddy and go do that. But no matter what you do, you should check out the John Dies at the End series. If you like horror, cosmic horror, weird fiction, and humor all bundled together with a scathing look at current pop culture and the social media environment you live in. I think that's why these books have so much value to me. Really peels apart the absurdities in modern Western civilization. It also finds the heart in Western civilization and the value. So go pre-order it. Go get a signed hardcover from Parnassus, whatever you want to do. But I highly recommend reading the first 4 before you get into this one. You'll be able to follow along a lot better. I will say there were moments in this book where I didn't know who was on what side. Remember, there are 2 other universes that are fighting over a third piece of land that pulls in a third universe in this reality. And so there's a beginning, sort of the beginning of the middle, where you're like, wait, who is this? But you just hang on. You just grab a handful of Snowball's fur and just hang on for dear life, and you'll get there. And I promise you it's worth the trip. So thank you for joining me this time. I hope to see you again next time. In the meantime, stay frosty.